And it is that time for Roundtable Live here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. Be rolling on till 4 a.m. in the morning Eastern Time. New ideas, different hosts every night, different subjects every night. You never know what's going to happen right here at the Roundtable Live. King Arthur has nothing on us. We're going round and round.
West Coast of Orange County, California. From the Pacific perspective to the Atlantic perspective. From liberal craziness to conservative idealism. From Christianity to atheism belief systems. Welcome to the Gray Zone Roundtable with Rectify and Wingman at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com.
RevolutionRadio.com.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all you listeners out there. You're listening to the Gray Zone on RevolutionRadio.com. Feel free to call us on this roundtable. The call-in number is 347-688-2902, or you can come in on Skype. And the handle for the Skype name is Freedom Screen, SCREEN. As you know, we are listener supported, so that means we need some contributions to avoid any dead air. So please don't depend on other people to make the contribution, and especially more so if you haven't given anything for a while. Please go over to the site, head on over to the support page, and select the type of, you can also subscribe, or make a donation there and then. We have with us at the moment, it's nearly a round table, but we need some more people to call in to make it one. At the moment it's a square table-ish. We've got Rectify, who's not feeling so well today, hence the reason I did the intro. We've also got Jer Bear, and Miss Black is back. Hello, everybody.
What's up?
Hey there, Wingman. Hey, Rectify. Hey, Jer Bear. Hey, Revolution Radio.
So how's everyone's week been? Anything been happening?
Man, let's timestamp it, by the way. Today is Tuesday morning for most. Monday still for the West Coasters, and it is August the 12th for most, 2014. So, yeah, for the record. But my week's been pretty much the same, man. Seems like every day is Groundhog's Day. It just gets worse.
I know all about that. I did that for a pretty long time. Groundhog Day, it's a bitch.
Didn't we say all this yesterday?
See? You're a funny guy.
No, you can't.
I just got that.
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
That is quick.
Rest in peace,
Robin Williams.
Yeah,
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. I grew up with Mork and Mindy, so Nanu to you.
Yes, more Colin Orson, come in Orson, more Colin Orson, come in Orson. Yeah, I remember that. Nanu. That was I used to love that program. I used to look forward to it.
I mean, the outfits alone, Fashion Police, hello. But yeah,
That's
Robin
right.
Williams, just an amazing, artist, performer, a commentator, a comic, just enriched so many lives, and has been in so many pieces of work, works of art, all types of amazing contributions to our, viewing and intellectual pleasure. And he will be greatly missed. Apparently suicide. Which is
asphyxiation.
That is terrible. I guess, unfortunately, to bring this up, but apparently he had fallen off the wagon and was getting very depressed. I think
20 years. Yeah. 20 years on the wagon, fell off.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's getting hard out there. Anybody, when you ask them, how you doing? And they go, I'm good. I tell you what, bullshit. And you know what? Either that or you got your head stuck where the sun don't shine. Because there's nothing good in this world right now. I don't care. I'm sick and tired of the positivity. Oh, you're not positive enough. That's why things aren't going right. You know what? I spent the last 10 years of my life trying to be positive through all this tragedy since 9/11. And it's just compounded and compounded and compounded. And I just see more iPad users and more iPod users and more iPhone users and more people just picking their butts and their noses, man. And they'll still smile at you and go, yeah, everything's great. I just don't get it. I don't get it. There's so many people in pain. I mean, Robin, that guy had everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. He did, you think with his career, with his celebrity, with his wealth, and the people that, I guess, out there that adore him, a lot of people do adore him, and he's got a hell of he's done a lot of film. I'm looking at the filmography. His filmography now, it just goes on and on and on and on. This guy's been in the show business for a very long time. And, if he is unhappy, what does that say, It's someone who's pretty much got it all, and yet he felt he needed to take his own life.
And he was a positive guy. He did the whole positive act. That was his career.
But obviously he was hurting inside.
Right.
Just like a lot of other people.
So come clean and let people know, man. Be honest. It's time for everybody to be honest. If you're not feeling good, tell someone. How are you doing today? Shitty. Straight up. You know what? I'm not going to float your boat to make you feel better because we're just going to go in an endless feedback loop then of lies. I'm sick of that.
Isn't that, when you say, how are you doing today? When we reply, oh yeah, fine, that is to appease the other person.
It is.
Really, isn't it?
Right.
You've asked a question. You don't ask the question if you don't want the real answer kind of thing, So I think it does help to talk about things, like you said, Robin Williams was he gave off a positive vibe, yet obviously he was in pain and no one was maybe able to heal that pain for him. There's a wonderful scene in Good Will Hunting with that other well-known actor. I can't remember his name. But he was in...
Was it Macaulay Culkin? Or
No.
One of them young stud actors.
Matt Damon.
Oh, no. It was a female.
Matt Damon.
That's the one.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, and Ben Affleck. Yeah.
That's right. They're
Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting.
There's a really powerful scene in that where where Matt comes into the room for his counselling, and they're having a bit of a heart-to-heart, and Robin Williams, very powerful scene, looks straight into his eyes and he says, "It's not your fault." And he pauses and Matt goes, yeah, I know. And he shakes his head and he says, he looks into his eyes again, "It's not your fault." And Matt goes, yeah, I know. And then he slows down and he says it again, "It's not your fault." And then it hits Matt and he starts crying. And it was a beautiful scene. And I think a lot of people would have connected to what was going on in that moment. And that's a little bit of, movie magic, and sometimes you need that kind of healing. You need to forgive yourself and maybe forgive others around you. And yes, time is a healer, and it takes time for hurt, whether heartbreak or the loss of a loved one and so on and so forth. It takes time for healing to take effect. But time is a healer. And while there's chaos in the world around us, you've got to protect yourself as well. You can get absorbed you can get affected by the doom and gloom around us, but at the end of the day, you have to also
not if you learn to tell it to F off.
Well, no, I wouldn't say.
I think that's the solution. Big middle finger to all of it.
No, because that's non-empathy, and I think empathy is important. But it's just like you got to pace yourself. You got to be careful how much news you read, how much you let it affect you, because you can only take so much. We can only take so much as individuals of the hurt around us, especially if we are empathic, and most of us, I think, are here. But
that's why I take breaks. Yeah, sometimes it just gets to be too much, and I start, badgering my husband about all the bad things that are happening in the world. Whereas, he, might not be, tuned into the level I am as far as bad news goes. Being a
and it
news,
frustrates you,
person.
pisses you off. You're like, why can't you see what I see?
And then when I see my life getting affected to the point where I'm now yelling at my spouse for stuff that is happening around the world that I can't control, I take a break, and that's what I did, and I was using, different, methods to deal with it for a really long time. Most of my life I was basically on something, and, I handled it fine and all that kind of stuff, but I have to say that, for me, I'm finding a better balance, being, away from most of those, all of the things that I used to do to deal with, my empathy, with the, empathic, nature of my soul, so I agree. It is, taking a break is good. Now, does that mean going to sleep? Does that mean not being awake, quote unquote? The word awake, the word asleep. I don't know. I think a break is really important though. I have to agree there. And rectify, I hate to hear you like this. It frustrates me because I want to help and I don't know what to do. And then to hear you, get, angry at the world, it's fine. We should be angry at the world, etc. What we've been trying to focus on, I guess, is, healing from the, from the small to the big, actually, sorry, I'm saying, but actually focusing on what you can do in your immediate surroundings, in your neighborhood, etc.
I've already hit up 2 ERs and they threw me to the curb basically because I'm broke and no insurance, right? Medicaid or Medi-Cal, whatever, I guess that's the Social Security insurance I applied for. I'm getting the runaround there because in order for me to even apply fully, they want a primary care physician's name. And I can't get one because I don't have insurance.
I'll get you one.
So, okay, and check this out. It gets even worse, right? I'm hearing today Nighthawk talking about now the hospitals, this whole executive order that Obama passed. If you got like a respiratory, you're coughing or something, they might quarantine you now, and whoever came with you to the hospital because of this Ebola crap, right? So it's like even worse now. If I decide to go try out another facility of strangers that don't give a crap, which is true, all they care about is their money. For instance, Fox News, hospital charges $9,000 to bandage a cut middle finger. A New Jersey teacher said he was charged nearly $9,000 after he showed a cut middle finger to a hospital emergency room aide. Yeah, I'm not going to go on with that, but I'll drop the foxnews.com link. We love them.
May I jump in and say a few things?
Yeah.
Hi guys. Hi, Revolution Radio.
Hi.
Well, like I say to you, Arthur, you probably know enough. Our little family here at Revolution Radio probably knows a doctor or somebody that's going to come to and knock on. We're going to knock on wood, and I think that stuff's not going to happen. Okay?
Well, what I need done, I know the exact name of the procedure I need. It's a drainage. I've got probably about 60 pounds of fluid in my body that's being retained.
But one thing.
It's called paracentesis.
What I wanted to add real quick is there's no county hospital that can turn you down, no matter how sick you are. That was the
They
law
have,
there.
though, Jared Bear.
Yeah,
they
they
have to him. And that's the thing is I got turned away once a while back, but I was lucky enough to have, some better care this time. However, it was not a California hospital. And I think California hospitals might be, part of the problem, whatever's going on there, because they did turn away Rectify twice.
And they're letting the Mexicans, I'm not going to say, well, you could shoot out here and kick it for 3 weeks, get an ID, and you could go to the Clark County Hospital here, the state hospital. Okay, Rick?
Right on, man.
You're right over the border, man.
I can barely make it out of my bed to my bathroom to my freaking...
Well, I'll have to put you in my burnout truck and get you over here. That's the only ambulance I got right now.
We need a UFO. We need some UFOs up in here, man. I want to believe.
On the subject of her, I did something quite random earlier, and I'm not proud of it. But I hadn't tested my rifle before, and there was a bird, a seagull, about 20 meters away. This was just about an hour ago. And I got my rifle out, and I took a pot shot at the bird, just to see if the aim was okay, and it was. And this seagull let out an almighty scream, and shortly followed by, suddenly about 30 gulls appeared above it, flying above it, and obviously investigating the cry. And I felt pretty bit awful when this bird was rolling around with its wing kind of half
Oh,
outstretched.
you just clipped him, huh?
I hit the wing, obviously broke the wing, and the wing's just hanging loosely by its side, and he's rolling around on the floor in pain, and I'm watching this, and I'm feeling dead, or instantly, I'm like, holy mo, and I felt so bad. You know, here I was causing pain, and this thing was experiencing pain, no doubt about it. It's a conscious entity, and I removed his ability to fly again. It's probably going to sit there and die eventually. But you know,
that probably taught you a lesson, wingman.
In a way, this is going to sound strange. Yeah, it's not a very nice thing to do, and I feel terrible. But in a way, I'm kind of glad I did it, because suddenly it hit home about causing another individual pain and suffering. And there's many people out there that are murderers, that cause people pain both directly and indirectly. You know, you've got people in medical insurance companies that vet all the applications and vet all the applications for insurance. And for getting insured, you know, and they'll vet them to try and dismiss any claims and finding a reason with regards to medical backgrounds that might void being the small print and void the claim. You know, they're murdering bastards as well, Jer Bear.
Hang on. I'm just gonna say, I got a good one for you when you follow this. It happened today, so about the medical fields. I got a good story for the listeners right behind you, please.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, so I just wanted to finish off that point. You know, all around the world, people are causing pain and suffering on other individuals, and I don't have any qualms with it. If they're a sexual predator or a rapist or something like that, I probably would feel less worse about that than, you know, harming that individual. But I think the fact is that when you start to affect and take human innocent, the lives of innocents, I think is my problem. It's the innocent, and this thing was innocent. This thing was just a creature that was just roaming around, and it was innocent, just like many humans out there are innocent. They've done nothing wrong, and they're good people, and yet they're being persecuted. And I'm not just talking about Gaza now that's in the news. I'm talking about worldwide, and we do need to look out for each other. We do need to look out for our neighbours. We do need to help out where we can, because there are others less fortunate than us, and we just need to stop all this hurt and remove the cancer from our system in whatever shape or form we can. Now, I know I was saying about earlier, you've got to be careful about how much you absorb, but if you can make a difference, then go for it. Try and make a difference. At the end of the day, there's often nothing to lose, you know, and everything to gain. And we need to start looking out for each other more. But yeah, go ahead, Jer.
Okay, in regards to that, I saw a videotape, just what you're talking about. It was called, these guys put it on in L.A. or somewhere. This guy goes into McDonald's and he goes, "Hey, I'm hungry." And they already got these single people have got their food already. "Hey, I'm hungry. Can I have some of your food?" And they're just so busy in their lunch and whatever their environment. They look at them, they're chewing. They just go, "No, you can't have." And he asks like 5 people that are, you know, doing that.
So
up. Yeah.
When I was making money, I'd drop $5 on a bum. See, I didn't even call them bums.
There you go.
I used to step up and go, "Don't call them bums. They're just disadvantaged right now." You know, but see, look how negative I'm getting just because I feel like I'm dying and like everybody's turning their back. People that are supposed to be caregivers, kind of like our police, are not militarized. They should be peace officers. Yeah.
And I guess,
can I please finish?
Of course you can, Jared. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay,
well, going today, I've consolidated all my bills, you know, because I'm looking at what's coming at me, and I saw these bills from just the hospital you're talking about. MRI I had, it's like I got all these bills, like MRIs on the brain that I had, all that stuff.
How much is the MRI, Jer?
I don't know, 9,000-10,000. I just had one test. They put swabs in my mouth. They tested my mouth for swabs for, I forget what that was called. That was like that was $5,000. And I called them up and they go, "Oh, don't worry about it now." But all these UMC bills that I've been having, I just toss them because I've been waiting, because I was on an insurance of Clark County of the state, which they finally approved for Medicaid. So I don't know. I about 4 months ago, I went down to the welfare office and I told them about this incident. I was getting my food stamps up. It was April. And I told them, "I got this problem." I said, "I need some documentation showing that I'm covered for that area or whatever." So she made up the form, and I never submitted it to anybody. I got to put it back somewhere. But anyway, go real quick. Today, the other day I called this one. I said, you know what, I'm going to check into this now. Things could be touchy. So I called them and I left a voice message. They called me today. This lady called me. Yeah, good morning. I go, she goes, yeah. Can I help you? This is so-and-so, we're 4+ a credit line, and we're here to talk to you about a debt. First I said, oh, is this a good call or bad call? Oh, it's a good call. Oh, okay. And what does it deal with? I would like to say that, we are recording this, so we're letting you know that. I go, okay. And then what are you talking about?
What's your point, J Bear? Sorry?
I'm going to get to it.
Okay.
What the point is, how they treat you. And this is what happened. She goes, they always say they're going to record you. The banks, they all tell you that, right? I said, that's fine. I'm acceptable. And then she goes, okay, we see that you owe all this money now. And I said, excuse me? I said, well, if you record, she wouldn't let me get a word in. And I was telling her, I got some documentation. And I said, can I record you? No. That's got me hot. I said, well, if you're recording me, do I have the right to record you? No, you don't. That's what happened when she says, yeah, we're recording you. And I just said, well, I better record this for my attorney. And I didn't
record it.
Yeah. And she goes, no. And I said, well, why not? I said, well, who are you?
Well, that's your mistake, Joe. They're saying, why not? You just say, well, sorry, I'm recording.
I told him, can I record you? And it was no.
No, but you're asking, Jebba, you see.
And I said, well, then could you stop recording me? No, we don't. We're going to record you. Then I said, well, I'm going to record you. No, you don't. And she hung up. She threw. But you know what? These companies. I didn't care, but I called right back to talk to another gentleman. I said, sir, I was just really trying to manage. I said, I called on the weekend stuff right now because I'm legally now 100% disabled for the federal government, and I want to manage these past bills, these MRIs, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. I called on the weekend because I was doing it. And I asked you to call me back, and she called me back, and she hung up about recording. And he goes, well, okay, let me listen now. And he did the same thing. He goes, I'm going to record you. I said, well, can I record you? And he said, no, and he hung up. Now, let me get to the point. I've Googled this company, okay? They're right in town. You know what it says? It says 8 to 10 employees work for this company. And they took back almost $500 million around this community. Well, I don't know, but I Googled it. That company took in like $500 million from people paying all their bills, coming after people's bills or the consumer. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, let's bring it into taxation, just to show that taxation is nothing but a gun to your head. It really has nothing to do with the fiscal purposes. You're not paying anything back. They might even tell you, certain truthers or what have you, whatever you call them. They'll come into, yeah, I found the truth. Our income taxes just pay for the interest on the loan we get from the Federal Reserve, right? Well, it's BS. It's all a power. It's just it's a gun to your head. It has nothing to do with the money, because look at all the bailouts. They can just print the money, bail out anytime they want. There's no such thing as not enough money for them. So, it's pointless. It's all just power. It's all just, when your ears growling saying, I'm going to kill you if you don't comply, even though the compliance I'm asking for has no sensical value to it at all. It's just a control factor.
And put more fear into killing you, with your worries and your anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they try to do.
Then bring in big pharma and alcohol industry and tobacco. There you go. More
that's
money.
Right. Who's supporting the corporation? The corporation, government. And that's what I was trying to say, Arthur. So if you really need to have that done, you come out here, I adopt you, I put you through you just get
what I'd like to know is a specialist. See, I used to have Dr. Bell, and he knew all kinds. And I could go, I need to see this kind of a specialist right now. And he would get one of his buddies, right?
There's some good doctors here. There's good doctors everywhere.
Right.
There's good doctors everywhere.
Gamble, though. It's just like Russian roulette, bro.
No, there's a good doctors everywhere. You just learn. I'll teach you a little bit if you come out. I'll help you. I'll tell you. I'll help you I'll help you if you can't get through California. I'll work with you, brother. I got room too. So over.
Yeah, we haven't heard from your pretty voice in a little bit now. How do you like doctors in the medical system? And can't you wait for Obamacare and then them legally being able to lock you into a hospital quarantine just because you might cough?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. How do you?
Well, I don't agree with all the executive order decisions. I mean, I think it's crazy. The percentages just skyrocketed. Obviously, it's astronomical. Obama and his executive order signatures. I think that George Bush had. I don't know. I'll look it up. I have this information in front of me. I'm sorry. I just had to reboot, so I don't have my browser open yet, or I just have one thing open. But anyway, I missed Jer Bear's thing. I was hearing about swabs in your mouth, and then I missed the rest, and because I had to reboot. What did they swab your mouth for? I'm sorry to go backwards.
I went to my it was my neurologist doctor, and I went in there to I had to go back for something. To get the MRI in my neck checked, okay? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, what's going to be what is the procedure? And he says, well, that's calling that all the deterioration in your neck and whatever and your shoulder has created anyway, I found out all this out, and I had to sum up some stuff, and then I'm getting ready to book, and he goes, oh, by the way, I want you to go see my nurse before you clock out. Go see this other nurse. And she comes over, yeah, just come over here. I go, this is odd. And so I went, and I said, just a minute, let me go over here and do the thing with the lady and get cleaned out, and I'll come right back. Yes, sir. So I went back in, and there's two nurses in this room. Come in here. What's up? We're gonna put all these. I had to take a piss test right then, and I think I don't know if I drew no blood, but she goes, yeah, we're gonna put these swabs in your mouth, and it was $5,000. I got the bill for it, and it's the new method of how they're going to medicate us, I guess. I forget exactly.
Yeah. And also get your DNA, basically. Just stir up your DNA. I mean, that's. I got a little paranoid. I got a little paranoid on that. I said, they caught me. I should have turned it down. But when the bill came, it was like $6,000. I had to call this company, and I said, what's going on with this? Jared, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. So immediately after that, I called Dr. Dowd's office, and I told, hey, listen, what's up with this? Oh, Jared, that's about the new medication wave we're going to, with pain management and all this stuff that we see that's up and coming. I go, are you sure? And she goes, yeah, when we get the results. I said, well, where's the results? Well, it takes a little while for it. I said, well, you guys give me a shout and let me come down there and get with you on this page because I want to know what's going on. And I'm not going to be liable for this bill. And they're like, don't worry, Jer, we already put a chip in you.
Oh, they ain't put no chip in me.
So you think, I mean, seriously. They probably know everything that's going on with you now.
Here's the thing. My neck is deteriorated. Yes, I get certain pain. But my neck is not causing, this doctor's saying that it was causing the numbness in my hands. The numbness in my hands and my feet is neuropathy.
Yeah, a lot of people have neuropathy. I'd never heard about it until about 3-4 years ago. Maybe it's I just think that a lot of people have developed neuropathy late. I think it has to do, of course, I'm going to revert to the chemtrail situation and talk about all the poisons that are being sprayed on us.
It's like the new multiple sclerosis. That's what it is.
What's that, Chef?
What's that?
What'd you say, R3?
Oh, I said it's the new multiple sclerosis. They're just going to have a new pill for that.
Yeah, and you could just
and they do.
No, they don't. Well, whatever they got, Hawk gave me something that it's working already.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, they have some things that I know a girl who's got it, and I hear about not only the numbness but itching, and also I hear about burning. You every time I come back on the garden, I'm going. Boo Boo's with me, and I'm going like, oh Boo Boo, oh baby. That's my saying when I'm in pain. I just go, oh Boo Boo, oh baby, and I walk back into the house like I'm like an old man, and just trying to be mellow. Oh Boo Boo, that's like.
You feeling better now? You've had your treatments and stuff.
No. I've just started this medication since I got it back. It's just called it's called lip. Where did I just have it?
You sure you want to read this on the air, man?
Yes.
Is it over the counter?
Yeah, you can buy it. Alpha lipoic,
I think.
Alpha lipoic acid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Incidentally.
Yeah, that's an amino acid.
Incidentally, you know, what you were saying about the extortionate costs in the medical industry, and it's not just over there, it's over here as well, as very similar with the legal system. You know, I just want to bring home the fact that what you're seeing happening in effect is a type of laundering, a type of money laundering from public funds or public monies, taxes, people's taxes and taxpayer funds, into private hands. It's effectively money laundering, and it happens through the legal system, it happens through education, it happens through the medical industry. You know, $10,000 for staying in a room for one night, for example, and $5,000 for your swab, like you say. You know, these are not unique types of charges for very simple procedures. Mm-hmm. And so it's effectively laundering. You know,
yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Yeah, they know they can get their money. I mean, if they know they can get their money, then they ride that wave like there's no tomorrow. And it is very interesting. I mean, I was in the hospital, as we may or may not know, a couple of months ago, and I had a 2-day stay, which already was amazing that they admitted me, because I used to be turned away as well. And it cost $23,000. I'm like, excuse me, your what hurts? You know, I'm sorry, you know, so it was crazy. I was lucky enough to get covered, actually. I don't know how, but I think because the hospital filled out the application for me as opposed to me filling it out by myself. You know, where I would be having to fill out all the lines. She got creative.
Like tax forms. You got to be a freaking CPA to know all the code. Otherwise, like one mistake and they're like denied.
Right, and so I'm certain I would have been denied, but because the hospital lady got creative, because she knew she wasn't going to get her money unless she got it from the state, and so boom, they approved me, and I'm very, very lucky, and I'm very, very grateful right now. So I mean, you know, there's a lot of terrible things going on. Somehow I had a positive experience, and life is, you know, not as bad as it was for me. I'm not saying that the world doesn't suck. I'm saying that, you know, there is light.
You had a person that went the wrong way about doing something, wasn't honest, but it ended up being good for you.
I guess. I mean,
I tried going the director out, being honest, and those are the people that get screwed.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I mean, that is true. That is true. So.
Until you have taken enough, and then you said, listen, damn it, I've worked in this country all my life, and now you're going to kick me to the curb? Forget about it.
I end up in tears. I don't have the spine for it anymore. I used to be a big fighter and, you know, like throw down with words, but now it's like, holy crap, I'm actually like almost on my knees begging them.
Yeah, and they're robots, so many of them. I'm not saying all healthcare people are robots, but a good amount of them are overworked, you know, and are apathetic and are ready to just push you through to the next thing.
I have another good story too, on doctors. Okay, let's go with doctors. I had these two primary doctors back in the early 2000. Two Filipino doctors that came over here, and they got started here because of the culinary was so big that they got into it, and that's how they got their business. With this doctor that was my primary before them, and he died, and I took over. I mean, they took over. So this goes back to 2002. I lost them when I quit culinary. I stopped working at the end of 2009. So I had a little insurance left of my culinary, which we have the sweetest insurance in the world. We fought for it. But I just got back on full Medicaid, so I got this doctor back, correct? And I went and saw him 2 days after I got back from Hawks last Thursday. And I said, hi, Dr. Nisi. It's glad to see you. I ain't seen you 3 years. I told him my whole rendition. I told him what I've been up to. I told him what's going on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he goes, well, okay. So he looked at my ears, he looked at my nose, he looked at my eyes, and he looked and felt my respiratory. And I've got sleep apnea real bad. I said, I've had that. I said, yeah? We're going to have you retested. I said, I had that NAS too. I said, it was too cheap, it fell apart back in the day. So I said, I've had sleep apnea for years, okay? If it kills me, it kills me, but that's not what's bothering me. I said, it's these issues with my feet and et cetera. So he said, okay, chill out, I'll be back, stay here. it was real hot, and I had to keep going to get some water. And I said, get back in the room. Get back in the room. I chill out. You see? And so I forgot to tell him. I wanted my prostate gland. I told the nurse to come back. I said, hey, is he going to massage my prostate gland? Okay. Well, I'll be back to tell him. So
now, what's the benefit of that, by the way, for men?
I'll finish that. I'll tell you in a minute.
All right.
What's going on with the prostate? I haven't had it. It turns hard as a walnut. Okay. If it doesn't get its therapy, and no, you can't do it to yourself, a man. You can't massage your own prostate. And it's like a 40-second procedure. And you bend over, he puts 2 fingers up your butt, easy, and he'll feel like a little small.
Greased, I'm sure, right?
A little bit, yeah. But I've always had my urologist do it, and I can't remember really the medical doctor, the primary, but I was going on that fact that, he's a primary doctor. I said, I need this done. So she kept coming back. I go and asked me more information about sleep apnea, about questions about how I am with my sleep apnea. Is it causing effects with people you talk to? Blah. And then I said, by the way, is he gonna come do my prostate? And she just smiles and goes, I said, listen, if he ain't gonna come do this prostate, I'm leaving right now. I said, I ain't playing no games. It's just a small favor. I need it done today. And I mentioned that when you guys called. And I raised my voice. So she went, and here she comes back again for some more questions. And she goes, I said, well, what's the thing about him doing my prostate? He ain't going to do it? No. But I said, fine. I fucking flew out of the room and split.
Jerry,
so,
we are on the air, brother.
Well, I split. I was mad. Sorry about that. But anyway, so 2 days later, CVS calls me and they have my medication for this and that. And I go, so he did that. And then he sent me a letter of all, I've got a stack of tests to take. It's trippy. He just sent me that. So I knock on wood. But the thing I'm getting at is a medical doctor, no matter, if you're this is where I bring the corporations, okay? A medical doctor as your primary, yeah, you have a urologist, but I haven't been on the system for a while. So what? He can't take his time to give me a proceeding, what I asked for. And I didn't really get his ideology why he wouldn't do it. It's not because it's dirty. I think they classify it as urology. And he says, I'm going to have the test done on you. The blood test will tell me about your prostate. I said, I don't want the test. I need the massage.
Neurology, did you say? You didn't say neurology, because unless you got your head up your ass, it wouldn't be neurology.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
What?
That was funny, but he did say urology, but that was a funny comment.
Urology, okay.
Yes, but that was a funny comment. That was funny. No offense, Jerber. That was just funny.
No, it's all good. For the ladies out there, you guys, there's jokes about OBN and your gynecologist, and there's not much talk about men and their prostate, okay?
No, and for the ladies out there also...
Just a minute, please. 1 minute, please. For the ladies, this is important. For the ladies out there listening about the prostate gland, you don't hear about it much because men are ignorant. And if you don't have your prostate massaged, it can kill you. And the idea of it being massaged is because it gets hard as a walnut. And you don't realize it. You don't realize it. But I want to tell you something. This is the phenomenal part. This is the emotional part. When my urologist used to do it, routine, I used to get it done every 6 months. And he goes, all right, bend over. And I always laugh. And it was the last thing he does. And, he pulled down his pants and he puts those 2 fingers up there and he feels it about 3 inches into your butt. And he squeezes it really.
Yeah, with all due respect, I'm not sure this is very.
Quiet down, please. It's all good.
Yeah, but
it's all good, guys. No worries.
Quiet down, Wingman. I don't interrupt you.
Yeah, we gotta both be cool here.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. I appreciate what you're saying, Jer. But it's not very nice radio talking about fingers up your butt.
Nah, they can turn it off.
This is the medical terminology. All I'm saying is...
Advice. He's giving good advice. That
people, would you knock it off? Damn it, wingman.
That was me, bro.
I'm just saying, Jay. I'm just saying.
My
opinion.
let me finish.
Okay.
The idea of it needs to be more awareness for everybody about your prostate gland. It's just, you don't just do tests on it. And if that's the corporate leaving you ignorant out there.
We all use the toilet, guys. So, I mean, let's just be adults. It's all good. It's good advice, I think. So, continue,
The
Joe.
prostate gland has to be massaged.
All right. Okay, moving on now.
And that's it. But let me finish. When I would get my prostate gland, and he starts it, there was a show here for food show. This guy goes, "Oh, the food's so good." When he squeezes, it hurts, okay? But he does it real easy, and he softens it up like a massage. And it's nice and soft like a cushy. And then he's done. 30 seconds. Easy. But when it's doing it, you scream like, and it hurts so good. But you're feeling so much better. I'm telling you, it'll change your personality, and lift your spirits. Man,
All right, so weight off your shoulders.
So get it done. Go get it done, wingman. Just get off my butt.
Well, I used to get my ex to try and do it because I read it in magazines with regards to it being quite a sexual thing. But other than that,
I heard it'll make you ejaculate, but that's part of the process.
well, yeah.
It does not. It milks it down. That's all.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. Moving on. I think.
So maybe that was a rumor, but yeah, I've heard of being sexual also.
That was the gay community.
Girls finger off if that ever happened to me.
That's the sphincter muscle. That's the sphincter.
But anyway, just let the listeners know about it. It's important to have your prostate. It'll save your life.
I agree, Trevor.
God bless you all. And I was coming as a health conscious person explaining this, and I have the nuts to say it. Okay,
Jet. Thanks. Incidentally, I just want to, with regards to one of the things I don't get about the health service in particular is that I find it very counterintuitive that we allow not only just the health service but also pharmaceutical companies like Glaxo and Pfizer, that we allow them to make a profit. This, to me, is totally counterintuitive. Health should not be profit orientated. I think as soon as it is, you see what we're witnessing and what we've been discussing. And these are the repercussions of a profit orientated health and pharmaceutical industry. It's about money, and health should not be about money and making money. No way, categorically. This is totally counterintuitive.
It's like going in to get an oil change on your car, and they sit there and cut some gas lines or radiator hoses or something. I mean, because they see they can make money, you're going to be turning around, coming back, and paying more. And so the greed has definitely taken over almost every service industry, especially care industries that are supposed to be there to care and protect. They've all turned mafioso. They've all gone straight up. What is that word I'm looking for? Where you bribe someone. You say, I'm going to break your kneecaps because you haven't paid your protection money.
Yeah.
Well, without getting derogatory, there's a couple of terms, but I'm not going to go there. I mean, I've got.
No. It's extortion. That's what I was looking for.
Oh, there you go. That's good because I had other comments. I'm going to break your legs, man.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's kind of akin to. I mean, just to give you another example, if your house is on fire, and maybe you're trapped on the 5th floor, you can't get out through the front door. The fire brigade drives by,
throw a 20 down,
and they say to you, "Have you paid your monthly subscription to the fire service?"
Right.
No. So are we going to let you burn?
No, that's happened. They've let an old lady's house burn down in the Midwest. They sat there. They got to the location. She did not pay her local tax to this private fire department, and they sat there and watched the house burn down.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I'll find the story.
Privatized firefighting is a very scary subject when you now that you bring that up. I mean, yes, privatized police force is also incredibly scary, that type of thing. But fire, for them to sit back and watch this lady's house burn, I mean, that's a
You know what the stats are, Angela?
Really protect.
Right.
Go ahead.
The stats of Southern California in the summertime. We get a lot, the Santa Ana winds start blowing, and we get a lot of them, hill fires and stuff. They found that a lot of times it's firefighters that are arsonists that are starting these fires so they can get overtime.
Wow.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, a similar thing would be the police. I know they are to some extent, but it would be like the police being profit orientated.
They are now. There's many. There's many privatized police, situations. Security people. Ex-military, ex-police. This type of thing as security officers, etc. They're carrying guns. They can. End a life.
Yeah.
So it's here.
It's like, protection services for the public should not be profit orientated. It's like, but again, you've got profit in war, which is kind of like protection service, and there's profit in that. Again, counterintuitive. Health, again, shouldn't be, profit orientated, and fire and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of kind of these facets that you see in profit where there shouldn't be any, because it should be non-profit. You obviously you still pay these medical companies wages for drug research, etc. Of course they can still get, and good wages even, but not make a profit, because you're asking for trouble every step of the way. And we've seen all the scandals. We know what the scandals are with regards to these well overpriced drugs that have not had proper research done on them, and it's in the interest to push the doctors to push certain medicines that have side effects, long-term side effects, even cancer and death eventually.
Can I just interrupt one thing right there?
Right after me. I just dropped
okay, go ahead.
$75. It was in South Fulton, Tennessee. I dropped the link. There's a story. Fire department, over $75, let this people's house burn, this trailer burned down. And all these people wanted was to have some more time to get some more of their precious items out,
Wow.
When my truck burned down, they sure put that thing out and broke the windows. And, so I had vice versa. But one thing about the medical field, and listen, corporations is what the country was built on. And as the corporations grew, that they live for the dollar, right? Here's where it's our fault. We let the corporations get too much control, and that's how we're trying to get it back. Because we got fed on the capitalism, the people, us, capitalism. I'm going to have my own business. I'm going to have five Taco Bells. I'll have blah blah blah. I'll be big time. I'll be like Benny and the Jets. And you get that philosophy in there. That's the corporation, and the corporations need to be controlled a little bit more. And that's where the people need to come in and manage this. That's what my take is on it. Over. Thank you.
Well, we're about to go to a break, so I wanted to give the number out again for people to get in here with their opinions. If you want to change the subject, it's always welcome. Also, it is a roundtable. 347-688-2902. 347-688-2902. Or Freedom Screen on Skype. You can get us. So this is the Gray Zone, and I'm happy to have Angela, Black, Jer Bear, Labor, as always, Wingman. But yeah, we're talking medical fraud tonight, and I want to get into all the frauds. And then I think Wingman's got an actual projection that we're going to try to achieve. This guy that sounds like Snorri out there, he's a broadcaster also, has attempted this, but I don't think he's really fully, I don't think he backs what he says. I don't think he really cares. I don't think he's got the spirit and the backbone. I think he says what he needs to. He's a scripted character, but you all know what I'm talking about. It's like from the left side to the right side, from here to there, rhymes with Snorri. Yeah. But we're going to put out a projection request, not a prayer, but yeah, we'll get into that after the break. But Wingman, are you back with us? I've seen you drop. We're working on getting Wingman back. Excuse me. So, how was your week at Hawks, Jer? I haven't really heard. You were there a week, correct?
Oh, I had a great time at Hawks, man.
I heard he fed you really good.
Yeah. We both cooked. We both shared.
Yeah, I watched a video or two, and that was pretty cool. You guys all got together and stuff. I guess didn't you get rained on?
Oh my God! Let's wait for the book to come out. Wingman's going to be my publisher, and we're going to kiss each other.
We're going to have some happiness after the break. Stick around, the Gray Zone.
My buddy Wingman will be right back.
right back after this message.
Who owns you? If you're not in control, then someone else is. Join me, Ivy West, for Voices on the Wind, Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern in Studio A. I discuss government, health, metaphysics, suppressed science, universal mysteries, little-known incredible facts, alternative energies, and even more than you can imagine.
There was blood on the wire.
Won't you join us on Revolution Radio Saturdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern for Voices on the Wind with me, Ivy West.
There are lives in the balance, people under fire, children at the cannons.
Because if your head's in the sand, your tail is a target.
Hi everybody, it's me, the Fetch, host of Inside the Eye Live. Before the Sunday mainstream media political pundit talk shows, there is Inside the Eye Live, where we break down some of the weekly mainstream media talking points before the talking points even get aired. Add in some entertaining stories, weather, cats, intriguing and informative guests, and you get one of the most listened to Saturday morning streaming media political talk shows going today. And it's all right here on our flagship station, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. So join me, the Fetch, for Inside the Eye Live every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. It is truly intelligent media for the politically aware.
I have worked with the CIA, NSA, Templars, and Bilderbergers. Now I work for you. My show will disclose secrets of science and esoteric knowledge. Join me, Stephen D. Kelly, for 2 hours every Thursday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time on freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio, Studio A. You can also listen to previous shows by going to youtube.com/Free Revolution Radio.
Anti-aircraft guns went into action against unidentified aircraft in the Los Angeles area shortly after 3 a.m. Pacific wartime this morning.
We are far stronger than we were 10 weeks ago.
General Quarters, all hands man your battle stations. Be nervous now if you're told. I'll do the mastermind around here.
You who have not seen it do not know what hell looks like from the top.
Bam, check it out every Tuesday and Saturday on Revolution Radio. It's a double dose of the internationally recognized renegade military historian Douglas Dietrich.
You'll stay right where you are till I tell you to move out.
Yeah, that's right. Tuesdays from 10 to midnight Eastern Time. Join Douglas Dietrich as he exposes the truth in hidden history on his show Critical Omissions. And then our human weapon of mass destruction is back once again to take your calls on Saturday Night Firing Lines. Both from 10 to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Only on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com.
This is Thomas, a.k.a. a Mad Painter. I'd like you to join me Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Open Canvas. Don't forget to bring an open mind.
Yes, folks, that's right. Bring an open mind to an open canvas. Again, that is Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. You opposed to government corruption. This is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here. Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Welcome to the TheGrayZone Roundtable Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. 100% listener-supported radio. No corporate ties, corporate duct tape dictating our freedom of speech. It shall remain that way as long as we are supported by you. Join us, 347-688-2902. Enter the Gray Zone.
Welcome back. This is Rectify. You are listening to the Gray Zone at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. There's a chat room there. If you want to go and fight or love, whatever, make a choice. Tonight's been kind of a fight kind of thing, I guess. The full moon's still lurking. We're going to get over that. We had some detailed medical advice, but it wasn't advice. It was medical experience. But it was a little bit graphic, so we apologize if we made anybody feel a little bit dirty. But I do believe it's important information. But moving on, we have Angela Black with us and Wingman. Thank you, Jared Bear, for calling in. I did appreciate that data because I am sick right now, and I'm trying anything and everything. It's obvious you can't rely on others right now, so I'll take everything with a grain of salt. But yeah, I do have some stories, and I believe Angela and Wingman, and we all have stories to tell. So moving on, second half of the hour, 347-688-2902. Tell us how you feel.
Very nicely done. And let's see, did we do the donate thing?
Oh, we did in the beginning, but we'll do it again. We're halfway there, which is awesome. Oh, no, we're not halfway there. We're about a quarter. Let's see. I can't scroll right now. I don't have that window open. I know we're doing well. We have 20-something days left.
Yeah,
and
21 days.
Yeah, we're doing better than last month. And we still got by it, so thank you.
Yeah, that's cool. There's $531 raised right now. The goal is $1,900. 21 days left, so that's pretty cool. Anything you can do, whether it's $5, $1, $10, if you can watch the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Talk Revolution Radio. We get a few cents, or the station gets a few cents every time you watch the ad before listening to your favorite show's archives and that type of thing. Also, you can buy some awesome stuff from our survival store and swag store, that type of thing. And there's a lot of ways to donate. You can sponsor your favorite host or your favorite show. Basically, you just go to the support button. I think there's a support button, right? Come on, Angela.
Yeah, site support on the homepage at freedomslips.com. Or if you're in the chat room, there's that donate button. They're labeled a little differently.
Or as Joey Diamond would always say, the bonate button. Which is always very funny. I know this is kind of old news at this point, because we're pretty fresh here, but I really wanted to address the Lake Erie algae bloom situation and in general toxins and undrinkable or impotable water, etc., and how many residents that affected. I often will focus on a water topic from time to time. I don't know if that made any sense. I often focus on water topics when I am on air, and this one is very important to me. It's right in my former neck of the woods. I grew up in Wisconsin, and that's where all the Great Lakes are. And Lake Erie has had this huge algae bloom, and basically it affected the Ohio River. I think that's what it is, the Ohio River. Forgive me for anyway, so it affected the water supply of Toledo, Ohio, and a few other towns. And I think that was around 400,000 people affected, at least. And I remember seeing a graphic of the mayor of Toledo drinking the water out of the tap, which, I'm sorry, I don't believe it for a second.
It's kind of like Obama swimming in the Gulf after the BP incident.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, seriously, well, you're not human anyway, Obama, so, you know. But there's actually there's a picture of green water in a glass. There's pictures, satellite pictures of the algae in Lake Erie, etc. It's poison. It's got to be killing the wildlife because it takes up all the oxygen. You know, so you think about all of the sea creatures, etc., that are, you know, maybe dying, and we don't even know yet because they're under a cloud of algae, so maybe they haven't even floated to the surface yet. Who the heck knows? Lots of bad things going on in many of our waters around the world, but this one in particular is talking about thick mats of algae on Lake Erie that poison the water supply of Toledo, Ohio, and they were fed by a type of pollution that's all too familiar in Wisconsin, and this is coming from the Milwaukee Sentinel, which is it's a Journal Sentinel, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, and that's a newspaper in case you're all wondering. So vast quantities of nutrient runoff from streets and farm fields have long been key ingredients in algae blooms. Each summer they overwhelm countless lakes, and I am actually allergic to algae, beside it being poisonous and all that kind of stuff, or possibly poisonous. I was diagnosed as a child. I had like 40 shots put in me in my arm. It looked like rabies shots or whatever they do to, you know, to vaccinate you or something like that. Remember those shots all in your arms? Well, anyway, I got tested for a bunch of stuff, and algae is one of the things that I'm very allergic to. So obviously you're not going to be finding me swimming in these waters. But anyway, so far the efforts to stem the tide have fallen short, and the fight to control such pollutants has emerged as one of the state's most difficult environmental problems. And we're talking about Ohio, but this is somewhat all too familiar, I guess, in Wisconsin. So
well, I'm sure China's pissed off, too, because we've been shipping all kinds of that water in big old bladders over to China from the Great Lakes, too.
Yeah.
Probably why it made the news.
Well, the algae infecting the Toledo water was blue-green algae, which is funny to me because I think they used to sell that stuff. I remember there was a big boom, like multi-level marketing, where everyone was selling blue-green algae or something. I don't know. Maybe it was just blue algae. It contains a toxin called microcystin. City officials warned the public not to drink municipal water early last week. And Ohio's governor called in the National Guard to operate purification systems and bring bottled water to residents. On August 4th,
there we go. We need
water,
military. We can't just have good old scientists that live in the area come and do this.
Right. Well, and they're saying that the water on August 4th was deemed safe to drink, but people are, you know, holding up glasses of water that are just full of green ick, you know, and it's slimy and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of different articles, a lot of different graphics. You know, you can see satellite images of the stuff. It's crazy. I'll post a few things, but I really wanted to address that and just say, you know, in general, we can't really trust our tap water too much. You can, you know, if you want, but I'm a little nervous about it, I have to say. And then, again, they're selling me bottles of water that is probably coming straight out of a tap from, you know, local plant land. So I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up. Because I really thought it was important. That
I got something to attach to that. This is actually kind of shocking. A CNN host actually kind of went off on his own people, which is impressive. It's always good to hear. This is Bill Weir, CNN anchor, was responding to a Washington Times article, which Fox Nation highlighted under the headline, quote, "Climate doesn't cooperate with Al Gore's group's visit to Denver EPA hearings," unquote. It was a short piece noting that when Gore's Climate Reality Project attended an EPA, that's Environmental Protection Agency, climate change hearing at 9 a.m., quote, "the temperature was a chilly 58 degrees, plus it was raining, RR. Weir was correct to point out in this context that the weather isn't climate. The way he did so, however, was ill-advised, even if internet applauded, and he later sent out this apologizing tweet. He said, "The glop of Midwestern guilt stuck in my chest probably won't go away until I apologize to Fox Nation for name-calling. Dumb move, my bad." Okay, and this is what he said. Let's see here. He said, "Weather is not climate, you willful." This is a tweet. "Weather is not climate, you willfully ignorant F-sticks." He spelt it out. MT at Fox Nation. Wow. So he even tweeted it with his He used CNN, Bill Weir CNN, and he sent it straight to @Fox Nation. So, and
wow.
There's at the time I grabbed this article, which was 4 days ago. There was already almost 6,000 retweets. So yeah, good job,
wow.
Bill Weir. Way to tell him climate change is a bunch of crap.
I'm just looking through the UK headline newspapers here. Some interesting ones here. We've got one here. Police might be forced to wear cameras on them at all times. So I thought that was quite an interesting move, and would certainly help with regards to any grievances towards the police. Talking of police, I've been seeing a lot of instances now in the US specifically with regards to what I do see as many incidents of murder where the individual has not posed a threat to the police officer and they've been shot dead. If I were you guys, not that I'm, great on advice on these things, but if I think your police officer should be removed of their weapons. And if there is any calls with regards to possible, maybe gunfire or a similar call to that, then yeah, she'll call out an armed unit. But for just general policing, I think it's getting a bit crazy over there with regards to your police officers and what they're up to. I just don't think it's, our police officers, we have armed units in the kind of in the case of the example I just gave, where there is a real threat and there is a viable presence of a weapon being present. But for general policing, no one carries guns. And I think it's about time that, because the police over there have not been acting responsibly, I think they should be stripped of their guns, of their weapons. And at the end of the day, there is always an inherent risk with policing. And as it is, they wear body armor. So the actual risk is quite minimal. If you look at the stats, and I have looked at the stats both over there and over here, and, the amount of deaths over there compared to over here, we have about 10 deaths in 5 years in police custody, whereas over there, through police arrest and custody, there's been thousands of civilian deaths versus, what's comparable with the police figures. So the actual inherent risk of being a police officer there is tiny. We're talking like 0.01% as a police officer. I mean, it's minimal. So they don't really need to be carrying guns. And even if they did get shot, they've still got body armor. So that, again, the risk is still, is greatly reduced. But then you can have an armed unit for that case, if there's a threat. So I just wanted to bring that home because it's disturbing. I think you've had riots in where was it? You had riots the other day, actually.
I want to say, was it
Missouri?
Yeah,
you had
St.
riots
Louis.
in
Yeah.
Because a teenager got shot. A 16-year-old kid, unarmed, got shot, dead. He's no longer living. His parents are, obviously traumatized. Everyone's traumatized. The community is traumatized. Police officer would be the usual, dismissed with pay. It's not the way to go. Taking life, like I said, that, I know, again, doesn't even compare to the kid getting, obviously, but me, shooting that seagull thing earlier, I realized about pain. I realized, there's pain, when you're causing people pain, I think we've become so numb and desensitized as a society towards pain and suffering that, you hear people dying and 10 people died inside, well, certainly I can only speak for myself, but I'm desensitized to it as well. I don't react.
It's a blinders world, man. We all have blinders on. We're me, I society that wants instant gratification.
And death has become daily news, and I think as a result of that, and not only the news, but the video games, it's like the shoot 'em ups, the number of kills in an action film, or a horror film, and it's like, it's desensitization. Even Tom and Jerry, for crying out loud, from the earliest of ages, you've seen Tom whack the mouse or whatever over the head with a frying pan. This is not healthy. This is not healthy. It's teaching violence. It's been even the kid going around with a toy gun. I mean, what's that about?
And then they demonize you for like shaping your cookie like a gun shape and suspend you from school. So it's like, they entice you and then they punish you.
In fact, talking of toy guns, I think that was an incident the other day over there. You had someone who bought a toy gun from the store. Someone called the police saying they were wielding a weapon. They just bought a blimmin' toy rifle thing off the frickin' shelf.
Well, that's you're asking for trouble if you're walking around with a toy rifle. But anyway,
but this was in the shop, I think.
Okay.
It's
well,
like,
I was going to add to this whole point that you're bringing up. Now, I play Words with Friends, and I admit it, I'm a Words with Friends junkie, and I play a lot of, Scrabble basically is what it is on my little device. And I choose to have the free version so that, an ad will pop up every time I make a play, a word move. And, so I pay attention to what's being sold, what's being told, whether it's a TV show, whether it's an idea, whether it's a recruitment for the Marines, or whether it's a new app/video game, etc. And one of the big ones, there's a lot of Marine stuff, and they basically show the Marines. And I'm not by any means putting down our military personnel, all that type of stuff. The idea above it is what I don't necessarily like, but I don't even need to go into the disclaimers of all of that. I'm not attacking a soldier necessarily, a person who enlisted, etc. But anyway, they're selling the idea of the Marines as basically people who unite and help other people in times of disaster, etc. You're also seeing what TV shows that have the occult going on, witches, slut witches, whatever it is, you know what I mean? There's a bunch of slut witch TV shows on, and I'm sorry if I can't say slut, but
you might as well say
witches.
lesbian slut witches just to top it off.
Well, and one of the first ones of those types of shows was Charmed. Those were some slut witches, you know what I mean? And anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm
they
just
always
saying
got their demon.
So let me throw, exactly. So let me throw in this last part, which is these games that they're selling the art of war. You can help your friends destroy cities. It's just this huge ordeal where basically you build up your city, then you bond with other people, and basically either you attack and just annihilate other people's.
You're emulating the Illuminati, and and emulate Halliburton.
Yeah, exactly. That is an excellent point. So anyway, I just wanted to bring up that mentality is still very strong, and you wonder why we end up with this mindset, or why our youth do, and why fear-based fear-mongering, fear-based mentality. Yeah, exactly. So just wanted to throw that in as supporting your point. And I had one other thing I wanted to bring up about the water, which is that also in Virginia it is now happening as well. Lake Erie bloom prompts new international targets for phosphorus. Let's see, like Lake Erie, people in the James River also, and I believe that's Richmond to well below Hopewell in the Chesapeake Bay region. So we're looking at more than one outbreak of algae and this type of thing. So I just wanted to also point that out really quickly because I didn't get to that earlier. So yes, continue please. I'm done.
Another piece of news. Interesting move by the judiciary over here. They've introduced powers. They have new powers now whereby they can discriminate against, not discriminate, they can overrule acts of government. In other words, any kind of bills, that kind of thing that are brought in by acts of government or government departments, they can overrule them now, and that includes things like the Terrorism Act. That includes like the government not legalizing assisted suicide or not green flagging that.
How are they backing up this authority? Do they have men with guns, like a private militia?
No. They just have to talk amongst themselves and introduce a new law to make it so.
So it's all diplomacy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening.
They're giving themselves that power to be able to. So if the government department comes in and says this is the new law now, this is the new act, then they don't have to go along with it, basically, which is quite interesting. It's quite a bold move by them. I mean, obviously we're talking about increased powers in the judiciary as well. So what the implications of that might be, I don't know.
That brings up something here in the States that I like to bring up. A lot of people don't know about. We all know we have 12 jurors and one judge, right? And that's 13, but that's besides the point. The 12 jurors,
Same over here, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay. When you have 12 you got these 12 jurors, they listen to a case. If they think that the law itself is a bunch of crap, they can nullify it. It's called jury nullification. They can say, we, as the majority of the jury, no, as one, they all have to agree, of course, because they are a jury. So they all have a unanimous vote to say that law is a bunch of crap law, so therefore there is no crime. And that person then, that the offendant can walk. And a lot of people don't know about jury nullification. There's actually thug cops that will arrest people out in front of courts that are handing out documentation and pamphlets, describing the process of jury nullification. But that's a real important thing that still does work in our court systems. If the jury says nay, that law is a bunch of crap, then that's how it still goes. But they don't want you to know about that.
Yeah, and there's a little paragraph to sum this up. The new judicial power of quasi-interpretation can be said to involve a subtle but significant adjustment to the balance of power between the legislature, i.e. government, and the judiciary, i.e. the courts. So, we'll see how that pans out.
We got some guy, he set up his cat with a bunch of smart devices, and the purpose for this is a man uses his cat to map which neighbors have Wi-Fi networks he can easily hack. Wow. Sniffing out open or weakly protected networks with a little help from his pets. Security researcher Gene Bransfield has figured out a fun way to map the vulnerable Wi-Fi networks in his neighborhood. As reported in Wired, he outfitted his cat Coco with a specially made collar built from a Wi-Fi card, a GPS module, a battery, and a Spark Core chip. The device runs custom software that looks for Wi-Fi signals and records ones that are open or poorly protected with old encryption like WEP, which stands for Wired Equivalent Privacy, which was the first encryption for Wi-Fi anyways, which can be easily broken. This is an update on the concept of war driving. Okay, we got a new term. See, when I was a kid, we had, I'm not going to get into it, yeah. Anyways, it's a different age. I can't really talk about that stuff. Where hackers would cruise around in a car with a laptop looking for open or unsecured networks. The War Kitten Caller, the War Kitty Caller, as Bransfield has dubbed it, isn't meant to be a serious hacking tool, more of a joke to see what's possible. Still, he says, I put some technology on a cat and let it roam around because the idea amused me. But the result of this cat's research was that there were a lot of more open and web encrypted hotspots out there than there should be in 2014. I'll drop that link.
That's very interesting.
It's a cute cat.
In essence, what do you think that means, Rectify?
Oh, it's kind of related to drones and all the technology. I mean, we got these Star Wars satellites. I mean, come on. They admitted they can read the date off a penny on the middle of a street from space back in, the 70s, if not the 60s or 50s? So, I don't know, man. It's showing that more and more garage scientists are, because of the technology we have at our fingertips, we're mixing and matching and doing things that, I think the powers that be never thought that we'd learn how to do. They see it as alchemy that they only know how to mess with, but we're figuring a lot of it out.
Wow, my husband just brought me some coffee. That was really exciting. Smells so good.
I've been shopping for a parrot this week. Suddenly I've just decided, I didn't get on with a dog. I had a dog for a week and then I just was climbing the walls with regards to it not being toilet trained. Yeah, I know, I'm not very patient, but also because I didn't have a garden, I thought it was a bit, it wasn't happy not having a garden or anything. So I've been, parrot shopping, and gosh, there are a lot of blimmin' breeds of parrot. It's incredible. There's just I've thought about a macaw, but they're massive and my house isn't that big. And you've got all these various breeds of Amazon and grey and...
Go for a macaw.
And her?
A macaw. That was Dr. Bell's favorites. And they're really cool.
Well, they're huge. The macaw's huge.
Yeah, and if he doesn't have a lot of room to fly around, then that's going to be kind of a bad thing. Yeah.
No, you clip their wings. You don't let them fly.
Oh, that's just terrible. You know?
I've already done that once today, so I don't think I'll be doing that. But yeah, there's one called the Eclectic.
Wingman.
I don't get it. I missed it.
He's Wingman. He got his wings clipped.
Right.
But the Eclectus, there's another parrot called the Eclectus parrot. You got a ringneck, one called a ringneck. There's just so many, and they're all very beautiful.
Wingman and the ringneck. I like it. I think that we have a winner, folks.
I know someone who wants to ring my neck tonight. That's for sure. But that's another thing.
You know, your bird's gonna.
I have another article.
Right? Go ahead, Ash.
My neighbor has a bird that argues with him a lot, and then the beak comes out, and basically, the bird wins the argument. Yeah, exactly. And apparently the bird likes food that's not good for it a lot more than it likes the food that it should be eating. So I don't know. I don't have a bird. I like birds. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Here's an article that I just found on Blacklisted News. Now, scientists have made lab-grown brains to see what happens when you shock them. Have you guys heard about this?
When you do what to them?
When you shock them.
Oh, put electricity through them. Okay.
Yeah, so over the last couple of years, scientists have grown blood vessels, skins, parts of organs, and even vaginas in the lab. Yes, that's what the article says, folks. We're keeping it below the waist today. Anyway, but now for the first time, they've managed to grow three-dimensional brain-like tissue from rats with the express purpose of injuring it to see what happens. Isn't that weird? I mean, hey, let's
shock the monkey.
Let's put, yeah, exactly. Just let's watch what happens. It's kind of like, those kids that, take the wings off of the flies. I mean, honestly, it's probably what they did when they grow up. Of course, that's not really the only purpose of doing this, but it's what's been done so far. In a paper published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, Tufts University researcher David Kaplan details a process that has allowed him and his team to make 3D brain tissue to study injury. Until now, the only way to actually research brain injuries caused by concussions, bomb blasts, and even new drugs has been to do it with actual brains in actual humans, rats, or other animals, unfortunately, usually post-mortem. We've had no real in vitro options for doing any of this research because every brain scientists have tried to grow has died within a day of being created. So, I don't know, should I continue? Basically, they're growing brains and then they're putting it through pain so that they can see what happens. There's more to the article, but I don't know if you want me to read on. So it doesn't really. It's pretty.
I'm just wondering, is the scientist that tests that homegrown vagina a necrophiliac, or is he just a pervert?
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm telling you, we wonder. Yeah, right. And what do you do? Okay, you're at a bar and you meet a hot chick. If you're a guy, that is, you meet a hot chick or whatever your sex is, whatever bar you're at, it doesn't matter. And they say, "What do you do?" Well,
I build human vaginas in the lab.
We test them.
Jeez.
Yeah,
this world, man.
Grow human vaginas.
Japan's got human turd burgers they've developed because they don't want to waste the protein. There's protein that's still left that is useful, and so they've successfully made burger patties and steaks out of human feces.
McDonald's. Just kidding.
Loving it.
Oh my God. Now that is literally the term eating,
Talking of curse words, are we allowed to play a parrot that swears?
I think so. I mean, because it would be...
No, I'm joking. There's a parrot. This is incredible. There's a parrot with a Scottish accent that swears and curses no end, and says all these. It's very clever because it's normally in context. But, it's like, give me an effing biscuit and things like that, It's like, very funny. But yeah, I was just wondering if the curse words extend to parrots. But, anyway, just kidding. Yeah.
I wonder. I mean, I guess so because the owner would be the one, training the parrot to say such words.
Probably.
So if you're a broadcaster and you have a parrot and your parrot swears, chances are by, what's the word I'm looking for?
Definition? By definition?
Yeah, definition, but I was thinking more like, when A plus B equals C, then, yeah, something like that. English language, it's hard. Anyway.
Algebra.
Yeah. By default, I think. By default, you would be responsible.
By the way, you guys got any hobbies? I bought one of these big kind of stunt kites the other day and took it out for the first time. took it out on the beach. It was fairly windy, so I thought, I'll give it a go. It's about 2 meters, this kite. It's quite 2 meters across, and it's like I say, it's a stunt kite. I started off and I spent the first 20 minutes untangling it because it got flipped around in the wind. All the knots went into each other, and I spent 20 minutes untangling it. Tried it, got it up, then the string broke. Tried it again, tangled up, untangled it, and I just gave up in the end. And I wasn't happy about the whole thing.
I used to fly remote control airplanes and gliders often when I was healthy, but nope, they're sitting in my garage waiting for a garage sale along with crap load of other stuff in my house.
Yeah, that reminds me of gym equipment. Gym equipment is one of those kind of a hobby that people take. Yeah, they want to get all healthy. They buy loads of gym equipment. In fact, I think if you look in these advertising websites, you'll find that gym equipment does the rounds. Like, you know, someone will have it for a month and then sell.
Yeah. Totally, man. I mean, that takes willpower. It's like, yeah, it's easy to say, but to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be an athlete too. I mean, I remember Hell Week back in high school every summer. That was horrible because it was 2 weeks. It wasn't just one.
I do admire people that have that discipline to go out for a jog every morning and get on the weights. And I think you need quite a lot of stamina. It's quite a mental, game that one plays with oneself to overcome the pain, so to speak.
Okay.
Of exercise and, keep that stamina going and just keep pushing on. I think it's quite admirable.
Well, I think it's effing crazy. No, I live on a mountain, okay, and Bill and I were driving, you were talking about hobbies. I pretended for about 6 hours that I enjoyed camping yesterday. I never made it through. I threw a fit, and it's funny because I threw a fit 3 years ago when we tried that time, and I thought I'll be able to do it this time. And I'm sorry, I really like the WC,
you
AKA
look far
the toilet.
Too posh to enjoy camping, Angela.
I don't enjoy camping. I remembered, and anyway, but on our way, we were looking at these people that were literally biking up a very far distance up this mountain. There were like 3 of them, and then you see people jogging up the mountain, and every time I look at them, I just think that they're absolutely bat nuts. I mean, I don't get it. Like, I'm seriously, why are you biking up this mountain?
What if they're the real preppers? Like, they're just secret. They got this secret society.
No, they got the gear. It's all about, the gear. I don't know. I look at it like,
It's just another addiction that they've kept on since they were young.
Wow, it's just, congratulations if you bike up a mountain. At least you get to go down the other side. I don't know. I don't know. It does freak me out. And I'm being honest. It freaks me out. I always tell my husband about it whenever we're driving and we see this. I'm like, that person's nuts.
Can't see him. The bike seat's in the way. But anyways, it's probably tucked in.
What is the bike seat?
So have you tried glam camping, Angela?
You said the person's nuts. So.
Glam camping?
Yeah.
No, but that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's like camping, but you just you have a few of the luxuries, like a duvet, a blow-up mattress, and, a table and chairs, and, glam camping.
There you go. A good friend of mine who has recently reappeared in my life basically reminded me the other day that his idea of roughing it was when they shut off room service at 4 a.m. And I thought, that is so true. That's roughing it. But no.
Like sipping a warm beer, like God forbid.
I did, by the way, ask my husband why we couldn't camp at a campground where other people were and there was a toilet. And he said no because, unless you have an RV, which we don't right now, although we, may find one in the future. But, he's into the tent thing. And I can see where when he goes with all the guys, like 60 guys get together and they all go fishing and camping together. I get that, okay? And that's fine. They're all guys, and they all, they get to stand up and do their business most of the time, and whatever the case is. Me, I'm sorry. I ever since I was a kid, I don't belong in the campground. And he kept telling me we couldn't go to a campground that had people and toilets, and I'm like, okay, so I don't want to be here. Let's go. So unfortunately, I did win out and did not tough out the evening. So there you go.
I used to teach water sports, sailing and canoeing, in Spain for a couple of seasons over 2 years. And I had to camp for about 4 months at a time. So that was kind of strange. And I remember all we had was these plastic seats. For seating, all we had was these plastic kind of, garden chairs. And I remember getting home, and you do miss certain things when you're out camping, especially for that length of time. And I remember getting home and sitting on a sofa, and it was incredible. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful, just sitting on a sofa and having a bath. That was just like amazing. And it's funny how you you take certain luxuries. And Marmite, do you get Marmite? It's like this yeast spread. I missed my Marmite, for example, as well. I think, do you have Bovril over there? I can't remember. That's similar, I think. But,
what is it, a yeast spread? Is that like
it's like a black Vegemite. Do you have Vegemite over there? It's like a black yeast spread.
I've seen it and I've tried it, and the only thing that comes out of my mouth verbally when I eat it is why? Why? Just why? It's like sea urchin, the same thing. Yeah. I'm like, why? I don't get it. You could say the same about peanut butter and jelly, and look how good that tastes like, I guess, but that is really an acquired taste. So what is yours called? Your yeast spread,
Marmite.
as you call it?
It's called Marmite. You either like
Marmite.
it or you don't. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't.
But so I did that for it was very teaching kids to sew. It's quite amazing. I take a group of 5 kids, often from deprived backgrounds and troubled backgrounds and kind of inner city schools, and I take a group of 5 people out onto the water in a boat or even the canoes, and especially on the boat when you give them a short kind of instruction on how to sail a boat and the main principles. And to be honest, it took me blimmin' ages to learn to sail, and it was very satisfying when I gave their instructions, where the wind's approaching, how you should have put the sails, and so on and so on. And then I would give the helm over to the kid, and they'd be sailing, and the satisfaction of seeing the confidence in them and the smile on their faces, and it was like a little change that went off in their head, and it was really satisfying to witness, actually. Really satisfying. But funnily enough, I hadn't sailed for a long time. The first day I went out on the boat, it was like my second day there at the site. I'd forgotten how to bring the boat onto the beach. I'd forgotten how you meant to go into the wind and have as you come in, you're meant to turn the boat around, face back out to sea, and with the sails flapping in the wind. I actually came in on a wave and just beached the boat. And you don't beach sailing boats, basically. But and then my girlfriend was on the beach as well. She was a kind of guide. She came out with me. Not a great idea, incidentally. And she started shouting, "Everyone get out of the way!" All the kids scrambled either side of the boat, moving out of the way on the beach. And all the towels were suddenly yanked up as I was coming in. That was quite funny. So I quickly learned how to sail. As remote. It's not like riding a bike. Sailing's not like, you do forget, But it's very satisfying.
All the names of all the jigs and all the jigging and all that stuff.
In your mast,
I've been on a catamaran when I was younger with a friend, and I don't remember, but I know there's a lot into it. I mean, you're always switching that sail and that jig around, and gotta watch your head when it swings.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a move called a jibe, which is when you go across the wind when you take the boat. So you've got the boat, the wind's behind the boat and blowing onto the mainsail. And if you pull your rudder towards you, and the boat goes, it's like the sail, the whole thing goes across the wind, and that's when it swings really violently, and you can get whacked on the head. But the other thing I used to do was canoeing as well, or kayaking. So I used to take them out kayaking. But the interesting thing is, when the kids first came to the campsite, we used to make them do a swim test, and they'd have to swim like a length of the pool. And they'd come out and they'd finish the swim test, and then they'd shout to me, let's see you do it. And I'd be like, I've done it so many times now, I can't be bothered. But little did they know I couldn't actually swim. Can you believe it?
No,
I can't swim.
It's scary that you had a bunch of children out there.
I know, a little bit irresponsible. I mean, I could probably swim. If I had to, I could probably swim. I mean, it's just that I don't have the confidence to swim properly. But if I had to,
well, that should be your.
Well, you need confidence. You definitely need confidence in swimming. So all you have to do is make sure you hold your breath and relax, and kick your feet and move your arms.
Yeah,
exactly. As a bare minimum, I could probably doggy paddle, but yeah.
Go learn how to swim, bro. It's not that hard. I mean, there's someone out there that'll teach you. That should be your next hobby. Then your bird will teach you to fly.
There was one day, actually, one particular day. It hadn't rained for 2 or 3 months, basically. We'd had brilliant weather for 2 or 3 months there. This is on the south coast of Spain. And then all of a sudden this storm front comes in. And I'm out in the water, and it's like, oh my gosh, the wind's blowing. I've got the kids in the boat.
Tool song starts playing in your head.
I call the lifeboat over to get the kids out back to shore so I can bring in the boat and set up for the boat for the high winds, pull the mainsail down a bit. And so they get the kids in the boat. But meanwhile, while I'm messing around, like I said, the storm comes out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden, I'm in the middle of this lightning storm, this horrendous thunder and lightning storm. And I'm bricking it because I've got this big metal mast. I'm the highest thing in the area, sticking this big metal mast sticking out of the water saying, hit me, kind of thing. And I'm like, careful where my feet are so I'm not touching any metal. And I was petrified. But at the same time, this is the interesting part. At the same time, I felt alive. Being in amongst all of that, it's one of the few times I truly felt alive. Very strange. And sometimes I wonder if you are on, like, in that danger.
Survival,
Or survival. I think it is one of the few times that you do actually feel alive. And it could be, riding your bike at 150 mile an hour, or your sports car, or climbing a mountain, or,
or going, doing your business in the woods. I mean, for me to get past that, I'm just saying.
Or having sex in the woods. Exactly, right. So,
I like how you soft that.
But, so that was quite interesting. And so I brought the boat in and went back to the site, which was about 5-minute walk away. Got to the site, and where you remember I was mentioning the pool a moment ago, right above that swimming pool was the eye of the storm, a huge, huge storm cell, and the whole thing was rotating right above the swimming pool.
Whoa.
Isn't that interesting? Now, I don't know if it's coincidental or not, or whether there was some sort of dynamic which made the eye of the storm just appear above the swimming pool there. But it made me think that maybe that swimming pool was charged somehow, and that the eye of the storm found it and just said, I'll settle here for a bit.
Wow. Well, don't you think it was a lot larger than your perspective could grasp? I mean, don't you think it was also over some other area?
It was over the Olympic. It was an Olympic-sized pool, so it was over the pool.
It was a water spout, basically.
It was a massive storm cell, like I say, thunder and lightning everywhere, and the whole eye of the storm was rotating right above us, over the pool.
Wow, that is so cray-cray.
Yeah. Kind of strange. And again, that was really awesome. That was nice. There was something eerily wonderful and majestic about seeing that, being right below the eye of the storm. It's quite. I'd love to be in the middle of a tornado.
You're
really
crazy,
would.
man.
At the eye of the storm of a tornado. Oh yeah, bring it on. I'd love it.
Careful what you wish for.
The front edge, the leading edge of the tornado, is not as strong as the one that takes you out. The back edge is the fastest moving one. After you go through the eye, you can look.
But the trouble is, if you're in the eye, it's like you're stuck in the eye, because if you're not in the eye, you're safe in the eye of the storm, but you're not anywhere else.
Moving.
So you have to follow the eye of the storm.
It doesn't stop, man. You get the leading edge and then the trailing edge, and the trailing edge kicks your butt. You can look up first-person Joplin tornado. First-person Joplin tornado on YouTube. Guy used his iPhone in a gas station. They all basically lived because they all huddled up. There was 19 of them all huddled up in a freezer, a cooler where all the beers kept and stuff, in like a 7-Eleven or a gas station. And it's gnarly. I mean, this is an F5 tornado, Joplin, Missouri, and the footage is gnarly. And you can also see aftermath. First person Joplin tornado. That's the other search term, and the guy goes back the next day that recorded it and shows you the damage, and it's unbelievable that these people walked.
Yeah, that is crazy. I saw a similar video with a man and his wife. They realized you could see the huge funnel cloud, so they ran down to the basement. Then you heard this huge, you could hear them just cowering in fear, etc. Apparently, they had good coverage though. But anyway, there's huge noises, bam, bam, blah, blah, blah. They come out of it's all in real time. They come out of the basement. And they come up the stairs, and their entire place has been demolished. And they're just like, oh, my God. They lost absolutely everything, and it was just devastating to look at. I mean, because you could see them in their structure, looking at the funnel cloud that was a little too close for comfort, and then literally them coming out of the basement, and there was nothing left. It was really, really moving.
What would you guys take from your home if you had, say, 4.5 minutes to get the hell out?
My cats and my driver's license. And my husband.
See, I keep a fireproof safe, so I don't worry about fire, but that would be one thing I'd grab if it was another emergency. I keep a lot of, like, schematic diagrams in there and birth certificate, all that, car titles, all that stupid stuff. How about you, Wingman? What would you grab?
I'm a bit concerned because I don't know. That's a tough one.
The bird.
Well, definitely if I had a bird, it would be the bird. But I think at the end of the day, this is just stuff, innit, around me. There's nothing. There's nothing really. I think sentimental. If I did have sentimental stuff, then it would probably be the sentimental thing. Maybe someone given to me by a relative,
like pictures or something. I
your
hard drive with all that.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, probably would be. But as it stands, I don't know. I'd probably just. No, maybe my passport, because there's hassle to get another one.
That's smart.
Just because it's so much hassle to get another one, so I'll probably be that, yeah.
How long are passports good for, by the way?
About 20 years.
Oh, wow.
You
can travel the world a lot more than you can get a frickin' California driver's license. Like, you have to renew it like 4 years for that.
I guess in Arizona, I think that there are times when you don't have to renew your driver's license for 20 years or something.
Yeah, it's like 16 years. I lived there, yeah.
That is so weird.
You sit in the lobby and wait and watch TV while your actual plastic driver's license card gets spit out of a machine.
That sounds more reasonable than waiting for the mail.
Right.
I do have an answer. It'd be my cannabis plants, definitely.
At least some seeds, yeah.
Only joking. But if I did have them, it would be
Speaking
definitely.
of seeds, we do have that $100 donation seed pack. You get over 25,000 seeds, all non-GMO, all heirloom, which means they'll produce more seed every growth period. So, yeah, check that out, freedomslips.com. That helps support the station, pays for all the infrastructure, electricity, servers, bandwidth, phone lines. Nobody's time gets paid with that money. Everybody's time is donated here. So it's for the cause, just doing it for the cause.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be my Marilyn Monroe picture. I've got a hand-painted Marilyn Monroe picture, which is 1.5 meters by 1 meter. Quite a big old painting.
Wow.
Fun fact of the day, Marilyn Monroe, the first Playboy Playmate.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I saw some pictures, some new pictures of her recently that hadn't been seen before, quite interesting. But I've always been fascinated by her. So, yeah, this is it's kind of like in stenciled graffiti style, but it looks amazing. And it's all in black and white apart from the lips that are red. Very cute picture. It cost me about $350.
I bet it's worth a lot.
I think it was a bargain at the time.
Yeah.
You got to get your butt down to Vegas and go to Pawn Stars.
Yeah. But I tell you what, it's more of a bargain than that Jackson Pollock painting, which looks like sick on canvas. Have you seen that painting? The most expensive modern recent history painting went for something like
You said Michael Jackson?
Pollock, no, Jackson Pollock.
Jackson Pollock.
It went for about 140 million or thereabouts dollars.
Yeah.
$140 million for sick on canvas, which is what it is. I honestly think whoever bought it, I think it was a sinister move to make I don't know, sometimes I think it was sinister. It seems really sinister that the most expensive painting bought in modern recent history is this sick looking picture, just like looks like sick, just like a splurge of paint on canvas. And it makes me think that it's an attempt, part of me from a conspiratorial point of view, it makes me think it's an attempt to denounce art, or kind of make art look stupid, or make art look less than it is. Do you see what I mean? It's kind of ridiculous.
I think it's more of an energy thing. I think there might have been some sort of energy in that was maybe positive, and this group of evil put their money together to buy it so they can do some sort of physical sacrifice to it to kill it.
No, it's just the paint. It just looks like if you spill.
Right, it's like a bunch of splatters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. But what if there was power behind it that was against the opposite power that didn't want that around? I mean, why else would you put that much money towards something unless it's like had some power or energy?
That's why I think it's some idea, yeah.
When I think of the repercussions, if I were an artist and I saw that, I'd be hurt by it in a strange way. I'd look at my piece and say, well, this is better than that crap, you know? And I'd be like, it doesn't make sense, and I would be hurt by that. So I think it was, in a way, it was a sinister attempt to hurt the artists of the world that might also be, you know, painters and well, not just painting, but, you know, you see what I mean? Because they'll look at that and say, 160 million, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That kind of thinking, you know?
Well, another fun fact of the day is, did you guys know that all professional football, hockey, baseball, basketball leagues, all the stadiums and all the leagues are all paid for by taxpayer money? And they get paid millions of dollars a year, the players do?
Well,
Doesn't that
they're
make
also
them
paid
sick?
Yeah, but they're also paid by sponsors and advertising and that type of thing.
The people build the stadiums. Oh, yeah. And then they sell it off to, like, Honda or Verizon or something later down the road. Yeah. Starts off as a taxpayer gig, though. The city mayor says, yeah, we want a stadium. We're just going to take some money from y'all. You want one, right? Yeah, good sheep. You watch sports, Wingman?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. So yeah, just to finish off with regards to that painting and the ridiculousn's of someone paying that much money that could be used much better elsewhere than for a blimmin' canvas, you know. All I'd like to say to that is, what a load of bollocks, you know.
You had that message.
What a load of bollocks. You're on fire, man. I heard that one.
Yeah. No, seriously, it is, though, isn't it? What a load of bollocks.
That's excellent. That was very witty. So there was just a few minutes left. So I just thought I'd say I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me. And it's been an interesting show. Wingman, I know you had a thing that you wanted to do. I mean, for lack of a better term.
No, I'll save it for next week. That's all right.
It's probably the right time to do it. That's why there was this whole little frizzle frazzle that went on. You know what I mean? That's how I've seen life work.
I think you'll end up, rushing it, though. I think it'll be rushed.
Yeah, we
only got like a minute left. You're right.
3 minutes, so I haven't prepped anyone or anything or introed it, so I'll leave it for next week. That's all right.
It's very deep and very well thought out. I think it'll be excellent when you.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, just to give the listeners an idea of what I had in mind. Often
so next week on the Gray Zone, everybody stick around. There's going to be an egg that's going to be birthed by Wingman.
An egg.
Yeah, well, often, you hear people say, or maybe in church or wherever, let's pray for this or let's pray for that. And then everything's, you're silent and you say your own thing. Now, I'm quite interested in the power of not really prayer, but a kind of call to whatever is out there to assist us here on planet Earth. To maybe intervene, to maybe something along the lines of disclosing themselves, making themselves known, or even if it's indirect, of helping out. Because I think a lot of people are hurting in the world, just like we were saying earlier. There's perpetual war, and all, and the madness and the tyranny that's been going on for so long. I think we need some kind of assistance, and if we had that, imagine if someone did come down to Earth and make themselves known, and we knew implicitly that they were from another world and wanted to help us out. I think that would be a big deal. I think we would change our ways, and I think we need that kind of catalyst. So the idea is just to put out a call out there, and that, I've got a paragraph written that hopefully you'd be okay with, the listeners, that is. And, basically the idea is I repeat one sentence, I'm silent for a bit whilst you say and project that sentence in your mind with a little bit of visualization that I'll go through. and send it out there. So we'll
it's kind of like on the process. If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, and it's collective consciousness and a good energy level that could be, combined.
Exactly. And it also, if you don't ask, you don't get. And, imagine the power of thousands of listeners repeating the same sentence in their mind and projecting that out there. It would be heard. It will be heard.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
I did that one time as a child or a young, preteen or whatever with some friends, and it literally worked. It freaked me out so bad I screamed and we dropped her, but she was lifted up light as a feather, stiff as a board. We did that. I have such an experience with that. That freaks me out that you said that.
Yeah, right on.
With every thought, there is an energy wave. There is a kind of transmission, albeit very slight if we're talking about the individual. But if you're talking about thousands of people projecting and saying the same words in their mind, this would be like turning your stereo up at full volume, you see, with regards to the consciousness that's tapped into Earth consciousness. And they'll hear it. There are watchers out there. I know there are. There are guardians out there. I know there are. And they'll hear this. And hopefully they can send, they've got something to go by then. If they need to escalate the request, they've got something to go by. They could say, hey, look, thousands of people just communicated this to us. It's a great idea, and I'd love to try it and see how it goes.
I think it's a great idea. And if people don't choose to participate, that's on them. That's fine. It's choice. Yeah, absolutely. So it's not like we're going to be stuffing something down someone's throat. It'll be fine. I heard it, and I think it's great.
Exactly.
So I look forward to it.
We'll call it a mass call, a consciousness call, or mass call consciousness
Excellent.
Call.
Well, we're going to see if it works. We might even create a new 501c3 religion.
Yeah. Exactly.
Funny. I like it. There you go. And what are you going to call that 501c3 religion, which is, of course, a tax status, a tax bracket?
We'll call it Will-ligion.
Was it? What? Say again. What religion?
Will-ligion. Yeah, Will-ligion.
What is that?
It's using your will for your next...
Religion, I like that.
Oh, religion. Oh, religion. Nice.
Yeah, that is excellent. See if the web name's taken.
Well, I wanted to start the Church of Fear a few years ago just to scare the hell out of people into reality, but I figured that wouldn't do so well. All right, everybody, have a great week. It's been Rectify.
And Angela. And Wingman.
And the Wingman.
And we will see you next Tuesday early morning with more chaos on the Gray Zone. Peace out.
Listening to Revolution Radio.